Hello, everybody, and welcome to Workshop 3. We are in the third week. I am really enjoying the information that I'm getting from students and the way that you guys are interacting with the content. I'm very thankful for it. So we are going to get into Workshop 3, and I just want to go through and tell you the most important things to look at in this workshop and to give you the encouragement that what I'm seeing so far is great. So if you haven't heard from me about how to change or how to fix your work, I'm thrilled with it. Check the rubrics just to make sure why you lost points. And if you lost points and you don't think it's fair, just reach out to me. I am only here to make sure that you guys are getting the most valuable education you can and to try and help us determine how to understand marketing in a way that can help us allow others to flourish in the marketplace. So workshop 3, we start with devotional Matthew 13 and John 3:16. It's pricing, right? And pricing, I think the most interesting thing I can tell you about that is, what is your time worth, right? What is your time worth? How much are you willing to sell your time to create a product for? I have been with businesses that wanted to keep their prices cheap. I've had businesses that wanted to have an excellent product and price it well above their competitors. An understanding of the competitive landscape of your business is crucial. And that means going through and understanding what the market will bear, what people are willing to pay for your product, and then find your gap and decide if you're going to be a low-cost operator or you're going to be the Mercedes-Benz of whatever product that you're in. Number 2, segmentation discussion. I had a chance to meet with Miss Stokely. Her and her husband are doing a landscape service business. And the questions that I had to ask them were, what market segments are we after? If you think about landscape services of cutting and mowing grass, there are high-end residential, where you're giving a service to people that are willing to pay a premium. There is commercial, which is a whole different animal that's based on volume. And then there is low-end residential, people that don't really care. They just want to make sure their grass is cut, doesn't have to look perfect. All of those customers are going to want something different. For each of you, as you think about your own businesses, who are you after? If we think about the books that Marisol is writing, who's interested in it? How do we get them in front of the content that she's putting out? There's the market segments of the teens that might want to read that, and there's market segments of the parents who will have that be a valuable book to them. So think about all of the different categories of people that would want your product and the message that you would need to send to each one individually. Because with marketing, it's not just one thing that you want to teach everybody. It is, or one thing you want to sell to one group of people. You have one product and it meets the needs of several different segments, and you need to figure out what narrative you can share with them so that they will understand that your product fits their needs. Service classification discussion. This is a really interesting one. The 4 I's, I shared a link in the discussion. I think it's this one right here. Marketing Matters, the 4 I's of service marketing. What I want you guys to think of in this is the feeling that a customer gets when they call for your service. And we'll use Ms. Stokely's business again as landscaping. What is the customer experience of that? The intangibles, the way that you answer the phone, the way that you greet them when you arrive, the final walkthrough with the customers to make sure that they're satisfied with your work. The consistency. Is your neighbor going to say, yes, thumbs up landscaping did my work and I loved it with all my heart, and the next person down the road says, yes, they showed up too, but it was a different person and they didn't do the same thing. So finding a way to get consistency in your services is really by over communicating with your staff what is expected. Inseparability. This is the concept of how are we communicating with customers? How are we ensuring that the message or the service that we want to send is able to mimic the service that we want to give, to get a better understanding of all of the ways that the customer experiences your services, from the first call to the follow-up call to make sure they're happy. And then inventory, this is always a little bit different. If a service is perishable, I don't really understand the best way to say that. There's some services that have inventory that needs to be managed, And there's some services that you just have to understand the time that it takes to get it done. So if we go back to the mowing lawns example, we can say, we get a lawn done in an hour. That means we can only get 10 of them done a day. We can't overcommit and have a customer say you're the 14th one on the list, because then we'll set up expectations that they won't be happy with. Critical factors assignment. This is the one-page double-spaced response talking about the 8 marketing reasons that new products fail in the workplace. There's a product life cycle discussion that is really crucial to this. This article by Harvard Business Review was one of my favorites in this concept. So take a look at that, read through it, tell me how it works in a real-world lens, and just continue to work through exactly how you guys are doing. Share resources. The more resources you share with me, the more research I know that you did. But overall, guys, I am just thrilled with it, with the way that you have been able to take this content, understand it, and internalize it. The last thing is product life cycle. I pulled up a little graph that I think is one of my favorite ways to understand the product life cycle. Let me pull it up on my screen here a second. So the product life cycle starts with research and development, determining if you have what you need to sell to customers, an introduction to the market, which is expensive. If you offer something that's never been offered before, there's an expense that comes with getting people to understand that they need it. And then you have growth, maturity, and then ultimately a decline. So those are the product life cycle. This is the product life cycle that helps me understand it the most. I look forward to reading your papers. You can reach out to me, text, Marco Polo, Facebook Messenger. Guys, I have enjoyed this group so much, and I just really appreciate the time that you're putting in. So God bless you. If you need anything, I am here for you. Thanks again.